Good morning, Cami. I hope that you are doing well and that life is treating you kind. I want to start off by telling you that you just have the absolute sweetest voice ever. Every time I get a voice message from you, I'm just like, you just have the prettiest voice. Okay, so today I'm going to show you some specific cards that when people see them that aren't well versed in tarot, they immediately think the worst. And I just want to kind of briefly tell you what they really are. So at least you know the base for some of these major arcana cards. When you are doing a spread, the major arcana cards are really like if you pull 3 in a 3-card spread, that's like, whoa, because these are main focal points, really. The rest of the cards, I'm talking major arcana, I'm sorry, the 22 major arcana are big focal points, and the minor arcana are more like smaller pieces of the story. So if you have one major arcana in a 3-card spread, then that is really what the other 2 are revolving around. But if you have 3 of them, that's like, whoa, that's a pretty intense, there's some pretty important messages there. So I'm going to go through some of those real quick. I am going to briefly introduce you to oracle cards. You definitely don't need these, but they're fun. So I'm going to show you, what they are. And then I'm going to kind of show you some more notes that I have. Like, something that is interesting to know is that each tarot card actually has a connection. It's a representative of a zodiac sign. For example, I am a Gemini, and the Lover's card, oh, it's so bright. There we go. I have my ring light on today. The Lover's card is representative of Gemini, as well as, nope, that's it. That's it for major arcana. But in my book, it shows me like this is the King of Swords. And this one also has an astrological aspect of Gemini. If your book doesn't tell you all this, that's okay. And you definitely don't even need to know it. I don't want to overwhelm you because I know that you're still slowly easing into it, but I want you to have this for when you're ready to dive deeper into it. You can just refer back to this video. So each card actually has a lunar aspect, which is the moon. So the King of Swords is in relation to the last quarter moon. It has a sacred day. This one's winter solstice. I cannot talk today. An astrological aspect, Gemini. They all are different elements, fire, air, and keywords. It's pretty interesting to know that there's even deeper meanings to them. And not only that, but like if you are looking for timing for a date, like if somebody is trying to find a specific date about something, if you actually Google tarot cards and timing and dates, it will actually bring up a list. And don't overwhelm yourself either, but if you're looking specifically to find timing on something, you can find them in the cards. I don't think it's all of them, but there are certain cards, like I don't know if it's the knights and the pages or the kings and the queens, but there's definitely certain cards that actually represent summer or represent a certain month or a certain couple of weeks. So you can definitely do that to find out timing. All right, so let's get into some major arcana cards that scare some people just by seeing them, like, oh, the devil is in my spread, oh, it's something bad. Let me just kind of explain a little bit more. Real quick, I also wanted to remind you to really clear your mind while you are pulling a card or doing a spread. Try not to think about walking the dog or what chores you have or, anything at all. Try to just focus on the question at hand. And I also wanted to tell you that if you have a friend that's interested in tarot as well, what a great idea to really learn together. You can really help each other learn. And not only that, but sometimes when we pull cards or do spreads for ourselves, our ego really gets in the way. So it's nice to have someone else to read for us, and then we can read for them and just kind of do it together. That's really fun. Also, say you choose like a time like, okay, right now I have time. I'm going to sit down and just spend some time with my cards and just focus on them for a little bit. Light a candle, light an incense, kind of just set the mood, you know, get the vibe going. So you're really just in the mode to be with your cards. Okay, here we go. The first one, the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man, it sounds really bad, doesn't it? But it's not. The Hanged Man really represents putting yourself in an uncomfortable position in order to kind of change your perspective on something. This is a card about going inward, about going within inside yourself, and like I said, finding a new perspective on a situation, just kind of taking a time out is really what that represents. So it's not as scary as it sounds. The Devil, another one that might freak somebody out, but you can explain to them that the devil isn't as bad as it seems, as it looks. This is about, this card could talk about a toxic relationship. That doesn't even mean with a partner. It can mean with someone in your family, with a friend. It can just talk about a toxic relationship with anybody, really. It can also mention addictions, and it doesn't even have to be like a really bad addiction. It could be like an over addiction to caffeine, or, you know, just like it can be an addiction to anything. And then what it really represents is, I think I have my light too bright. See, this couple dancing together, they are bound by these chains. But the point is with these keyholes is that they actually have the power to take these chains off at any time that they want to. That the only thing restricting them is their selves. So again, that's why I'm telling you to really look at the images of the card. Sometimes you can really pick up your own story from them. So that's what the devil represents. It's not as bad as some people might think who are very new to tarot, just have no clue. The Fool card is the very first card in the entire 78 card deck. And it does not mean that you're a fool. It really just means having a free spirit and a new beginning. It really means a new beginning. So the last of the 22 of the major arcana is the World. So you go through a cycle and you end with the World completion, and then you start over again with the Fool. So during our lifetime, we start so many cycles and we go through them, and we always start off with the Fool. So that's what he means. The Tower. This can look really unpleasant, right? And I'm not going to lie, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. The Tower really represents that something in your life was built on faulty foundations. It was built on weak foundations, and that it had to crumble, to fall in order to build again. On some tarot cards, like mine, actually has people falling out of the tower, but some weren't so bad. Some actually have like a woman standing there and she almost has a smirk on her face as she knocks the tower down, because she's like, I'm done with that. I'm building all over again. So the Tower really means a big major event, that is something in your life is going to be coming to an end, and it's going to be starting over again. But it's not a bad thing it's coming to an end. It just means that it wasn't serving your highest good anymore, and that you're going to build the Tower again on stronger foundations. So there's a quick one on the Tower. Last one that I'm going to show you that people really freak out about is the Death card. The Death card does not mean literal death, okay? The Death card means a change. It means a transformation. See that there's this beautiful butterfly here. It really is a card of transformation and change. Transformation within, transformation in your life in some aspect. A lot of people actually freak out when they just see this card. And even when you tell them what it's about, a lot of people don't like change. So it's still not like a favorite card, but it's not as literal as it is. Death just means the death of like the form of the caterpillar for a new beginning, for a new birth, for a transformation. All right, so those are the few cards that I wanted to show you that aren't as awful as they can seem or some people think. Okay, so I am going to show you my collection of oracle cards. It's pretty crazy. Get all my crystals, and then these are all oracle cards. Now, like I said, I only have 2 tarot decks. There are a million tarot decks out there. I'm sorry, my kids are screaming. Twins stealing each other's blankets. So anyway, there are a million different tarot decks out there. But pay attention, because a tarot deck is always going to have the same 78 cards in it. They're going to look different. Some decks might even have different meanings in their books. But at the end of the day, the 78 cards are the same. They have 22 major arcana, and then they're all split up into 4 groups of swords, pentacles, cups, and come on, Sabrina. Swords, pentacles, cups, and I know this. Oh my goodness, I had a brain fart there. But oracle decks are going to be entirely different. They'll have a different number of cards, anywhere from like 30 some odd cards, 40 cards, some have 50 something cards, and they're all a little different. Again, these are something that you will get when you're ready. Pick it off, whatever calls to you. My very first deck was this Messages from Mermaids, and it's because what called to me was its cheap price. At the time, it was $8, and to this day, it is still one of my absolute favorite favorite oracle decks. So what I do personally is, when I am doing a tarot spread, I also pull one of these for each question, which gives you more of an in-depth answer. We have love, trust. They're just basic. So you can just like ask a question and just pull one of these, or you can add them to your tarot spreads. They all have different artwork, different authors, different meanings. These ones are really easy. I don't have to look at the book. I can just kind of take them as they are. So that was one of my first decks, and then this one. And these 2 were my first and still my favorite. And I think what I like about them is how simple they are. And these ones are just beautiful. I use these a lot for pick-a cards. They're just really basic. They're really great. So these are what oracle cards are. Let me know if you have any questions about them. I want to show you some more of my notes. This is my cork board that I have over my little altar space. This is where I do my readings. You can do yours anywhere, obviously. And then here I have a list of the different zodiac signs, what planetary aspect they have, and then what zodiac sign that they represent. So that is one way of remembering. All right, girls, so that is what I have for you today. What is today? Only day 3. So I have 4 more days, 4 more videos of information and anything that you want to know, any questions you have. Again, if they're in the middle of the night or whatever, just go ahead and send them to me so I can cover it in the next day's video. All right, girl, have a super awesome rest of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.